Just ate a big meal at Burger King, and I'm probably going to be feeling it later. My name is Hobbs, and welcome to HMODS, where we'll undoubtedly be throwing up the double Whopper Jr. that I just ate. That's entertainment!
Oh, yeah! You gotta get swifty! You gotta get swifty in here! It's time to get swifty!
Hey everyone, I moved my merch store from that website that shall not be named that screwed my couple orders up to Fourth Wall. Check this out. With all new stuff, well, I mean some of the old stuff which you liked, but now this new shirt, the 8-bit console retro shirt that resembles another thing that shall not be named because I don't want to get copy strike. Copy strike? What the hell? What the f***? So yeah, go check out the new stuff. It feels good. I'm wearing one right now and it feels great. So yeah, buy my shit.
Alright, so we went and got stuff. Lots of stuff. In the interim between tearing all this down and now, the client came up with a pretty kick-ass idea, and it's something that I don't usually like being dictated to. But every once in a while, there's an idea, and that idea is this stuff. It's a truck bed liner. And I like the idea because, and I've tried this before in the past, using textured spray paint. This seems like a much better idea because what it'll do is, I've said this before with Tango and Tango Bravo, that military vehicles all have texture to them, and that is to keep it so that your boots don't slide off and you don't fall off the tank, truck, whatever. It never occurred to me to get the truck bed liner and paint over it. This is much better stuff than I've ever used, and the second he mentioned this, I was like, why did I never fucking think of that? So we're not going to use a whole lot of it, and so there's going to be a lot left over for future projects. I'm very happy about that. This is a great idea. It was a great idea. Next thing, we went to the hardware store because I really want to make this look authentic sci-fi. We got J&B Weld, the good stuff. This is stuff that you use to bond metal together. And I know this stuff is super good. The other stuff that we used for Stronghold was good for bonding stuff like what we used, like the acrylic resin and stuff. Perfect for that. This stuff is good for bonding metals together that are unfinished. And so I know this stuff rocks. I have a microphone stand that I can remove the actual stand, and the base weighs about 30 pounds or so that when I put it in there, it's not going to tip over. It's got 2 steel sheets for the base, and then inside it's got these thick fucking aluminum things. And since you can't weld 2 different kinds of metals together, you have to use stuff like this. And so it's a binary agent. By themselves, they don't do much, but with this together, it starts to harden immediately. And the only way to take it off is to heat it up. We got a bunch of these. And what these are, I have no fucking idea. I don't know what this is. I just knew that, actually, I'll get to this. I just knew that I wanted all of this to be able to connect to a mount that was like this, but it was kind of a bracket, but I couldn't really articulate to the guy in the hardware store who totally knew what he was talking about. I wanted something in this particular shape so that it would look like a mount for, and this is gonna be super cool. Ta-da! What does that look like to you? It looks like a machine gun. This is not the one we're going to be using. This, I wanted it to look like it was mounted to something that looked like this, and then a couple of these, couple of weapon mounts, so it's going to look like this. So I didn't know what the hell I was looking for, and I told the guy what I was looking for, and he's like, oh, and I'm like, oh wait, here's something. And so we got a bunch of those. So those are going to be our gun mounts. And so we've got 2 sort of machine gun looking things. And then I'm going to make like a laser. And out of that came a brilliant idea. while we were at this place here in Milwaukee called the American Science and Surplus Center, which some of you have probably heard of, because they have, whenever anybody comes here, they always go there. If oh, fuck. God damn it. We're going to build lasers, and because of that, we went to the surplus center and got a couple of these. These are laser pointers. And there it is. We also found, now where did it go? Oh, here we go. These neat little these are glass prisms. And so I'm gonna put it here on the end, like so. And then we're gonna put this inside. So it'll effectively be a laser weapon. Let's not tell anybody about that. Anyway, so the first order of business is to start sanding this stuff so that we can get it ready for primer. We have to take all the receipts off and make it so that it doesn't, there's no like goo or anything on there. There's no receipt glue or anything. I need to wash this stuff to get it ready for prime. This stuff, the truck bed liner, I no longer have to worry about priming the chassis. We've got to drill out this part here. You want to? Can you see that?
We can see it. Yeah.
So we've got to drill that out. That's actually it's kind of cool. It's spring-ish. I'm a child. So I've got to drill that out. I honestly I don't know how I'm going to get that other part out. It looks like it's on a rubber sort of cushion. So I think once I pierce that, it'll be really easy. One thing at a time. So let's get to work. How long was that?
18 minutes and 15 seconds.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Was that surprise on your face?
That's a little surprising on my face. Yep.
Yes, please.
I'm always really, really sketchy about pulling these out because I don't want to slice my finger open. Okay. You always got to make sure you're going in the right direction. I've gotten it wrong more than a few times, and it's irritating. So I gotta go really, really slow just to make sure I can get the hole going. See? So you know what I'm gonna do first. I don't have to be in that particular area at all, Lotus. Thank you. I've said this many times. You'd think they would have improved the technology of a pilot hole punch, or at least made it so that holding the fucking thing isn't like murder on your fucking hand. But nope. I have the same pilot hole punch that my father had for like 20 plus years, and I happened to look up, pilot hole punch. It's the same fucking one.
I don't think most people use it the way that you do.
It's what it's for.
Right, but most people aren't punching 100 holes at a time.
That's true. This turned out really, really well. I'm gonna have to cut this down and sand a lot of this stuff off. We're going to take a Dremel, a sanding bit on a Dremel, and get rid of all the identifying marks and take off all the little nitpicked stuff. Other than that, this is good. The other one's good. We're going to clean all this up, and then we'll continue with whatever the I think of next. As it turns out, we're not done drilling, which is fine. I forgot about the little, I don't even know what this is. This is PVC piping for plumbing, so I'm assuming it's some sort of, flow regulator or something like that. Anyway, we have to drill out from this side because back here there's sort of this little set of rubber, some kind of cushion, like air ride suspension. So we have to drill it out from this side and pop the balloon and then figure out how to get the rest of it out. We'll figure it out. Anyway, so I have to use the big bit now. I'm through. So there is a rubber gasket in there, so I was half right.
Is it too big to come out?
Because what happened when it was what they did when it was formed is they glued it together like this right here.
Do you think there's another part that we could get at Menards so you don't have to drill out the middle?
I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously there's tons of parts. The alternative is that we don't use the laser pointer. Yeah. All right, well that's out. This is no longer a viable part, which is fine. It was cheap. But from here, we actually are done drilling, and we will now commence. The reason why I have the earplugs in is because I brought the jammer out, because now we have to grind and sand all the identifying marks on the PVC. Okay, so we've got all this stuff sanded and dremeled out. The next thing that's going to come is all the sanding and things like that, but I think I'm just going to do this off cam because a lot of it's just boring hand stuff. And so after this, it is for this stuff we have to get new parts for the other weapons that we're going to be making. So it's gonna require a trip to the hardware store and some serious thinking on my part. So for now, we're gonna cut it, and I hope to see you guys next week. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.